Welcome to Christ for Life. Thank you for tuning in. Today our key word is hero. Back on March 28th, I made a social media post about the doctors and nurses and first responders around the world that were responding to this COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. And I was completely impressed by their courage, their fearlessness, and their self-sacrifice. In fact, in so many ways, it was like being in war. One of our sons is in the United States Army, and so we relate to that idea of what it means to be self-sacrificing and being out there on the front line. And I noticed that our doctors and nurses, medical staff, first responders, fire, police, and rescue, they were waging a war, but this time it's against an invisible enemy. And so on March 28th, I made a post that we should have a tribute, a monument built somewhere in the world, possibly Milan, with maybe smaller ones around the world in places like Paris and New York, a monument to those first responders and medical professionals who gave their life fighting the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic. And I went ahead and I got the URL heroesofthepandemic.com. I'm going to show you that URL at the end of this video, but I want to tie this in to the fact that we are called by God to give ourselves selflessly to other people. Take a look at 1 John 3:16. It says this is how we have come to know love. He laid down his life for us. We should also lay down our lives for our brothers. And so being very, very impressed, really just taken aback by their courage and their strength and their resolve. My mother was a registered nurse for nearly 40 years. She's now retired. So I really identify with people in the medical profession. One of our sons is a computer programmer for a large hospital back east. And so what I'm trying to do and what I'd love to do is build a movement around the world where we get stories, real stories of medical professionals, doctors, nurses, and first responders, and we start to create a blog, maybe a website, and then eventually that could lead to a movement to create a monument to these who have sacrificed so much. And so heroesofthepandemic.com, if you would go online and maybe post a story, maybe you yourself or somebody you know who's a doctor, a nurse, medical professional, first responder. Don't put your last name in there, just your first name. You could put initials, that's fine. But first name, maybe initials, but give a story. Tell us about what you have done or what those loved ones have done or people that maybe in your community that you've heard that have been doctors, nurses, or first responders and how they've helped other people. And let's build a movement around the world to honor these people who have given so much. Indeed, some have given everything, but all gave some, and we want to honor that. Right now, that URL, heroesofthepandemic.com, it points to this YouTube channel, but eventually I want to have a website for it where we can have the testimonials, maybe some photos, and that would build the movement, the momentum to build a monument to these heroes of the pandemic. God bless you all. Thank you so much.